Hey there, everyone. This is Dr. Yam, and today we have the question: how can a journal product that you create be a win win, not just for you, but for your customers? That's today's Biz Tip Tuesday. Let's get busy. So, journaling and the art of creating a journal. So, there's really two facets to this, right? When we think about the art of journaling, really all we're thinking about is an ability for us to reflect or to take notes of a particular thing that we're trying to accomplish or get through. It could be you may all be doing this if, for by chance, you are involved in some level of journaling. Please let me know that in the comments. So, for those of you who are new to our content creation tips and more Facebook group, I want to say you're welcome to each and every one of you. Glad to have you here. And if this is your first Biz Tip Tuesday, then congratulations. But here each Tuesday, I come to you with a biz tip, a tool, a strategy. And today's strategy is just that. When we think about a journal, how can a journal be a solution to the problem that you're solving for your customer as your business idea? Remember, the whole point of going into business for yourself is that you're problem solving for your intended audience. And you may be missing out on a very simple yet useful tool, a journal. And the great thing about journals is considered low content. And that means that it's something that you can create in short order. It's still of high value, and it's something that people are willing to pay for. Or you can give it away for free. It's certainly up to you. But what I've discovered in the times that I have um, created such a resource is that it's a great entry window to the buyer's journey and for your value ladder when you think about your sales funnel. That a journal could be that vehicle, and you might not be thinking about how that could be. So I want you to just think about who you are, who you serve, and what's the big problem that is out there that your intended target audience is experiencing. What are those pain points? And could that pain point be whittled down into one chunk, right? Because remember, there's the larger picture of a problem, and then there's all these other kind of underlying behaviors. Many of them are emotional in nature. They don't require something physical to get through it. It's about a process. So when you think about the big problem and then you kind of chunk it into these smaller items, is there one piece of that pie that could be a resolve by way of a journaling exercise? Now, why do I bring this up today? Well, one of the things that I've noticed when I work with my customers or inside of workshops and training is that when it comes down to producing, it's easy for us on the service side of things because it's you providing your presence and your services and giving that for time for money, right? That's what service-based businesses are for. But even inside of a service-based business, there's an opportunity for you to have a product that can support what you're doing when you're not with them. Because you can't be with your customers 24/7. And a journal could be a vehicle to enter into that pain point that your customers are dealing with, that they can discover better things about themselves, get through a process, whatever it is. And you could be helping them with that one quick win. And you could do that in the form of a journal. Now, what does that look like? So a journal is a form of low content product. Low content meaning that it doesn't require you producing a lot of content, unlike you would have to do for maybe a course or a training or a webinar. Those are much more extensive in nature and require much more production time to create. Whereas a low content product is something that you can do in a short period of time because it's tiny and it's doable. And then you're able to still be meeting the needs of an individual. So low content doesn't mean low value, it means high value. And it could also be of value from a price. So this is something that you can actually turn around and sell. How many of you have journals right now that you've either picked up in a store? I'm always picking up journals in the drugstores or in boutiques. Sometimes I'll find the journals like this. These are open writing journals, right? So these are a little content because guess what? There's nothing in these bad boys. They're just pages, right? But it's for me to use it as I so choose. Now, there's other types of journals that are out there that are much more intentional, meaning that there is a purpose for the type of journaling you are looking to do. So some of you may know of a gratitude journal, and there may be some type of a quote every day or some type of a writing prompt is what it typically is. And so I want you to think about, is there an opportunity for you to create a journaling product for your intended audience that they could use and be useful and have it as a benefit to them? What could that topic be that you may want to say, you know what, I want you to, and it could be a very intentional, it can also be very window specific. You could say, it's a 30-day journal. I'm going to take you through 30 days of reflection on the issues that you're dealing with or problem that you're trying to solve. It could be a 10-day journal because this could be a digital product. It doesn't have to be printed either, right? But it's certainly something that could be useful. So when we think about your intended audience and we know about who your target audience is and you've done your proper research, then you know those pain points. What is one pain point, one thing that you could think about that could get them from point A to point B, to have that real quick win, to finish, to bring closure to something or to get closer to something else by way of journaling? So I want to give you an example. I'm going to share with you let me see if I can bring it up here. I'm going to show with you a journal that I put together so you can kind of see what it looks like. And then as an example, and then I want you to think about what is it that you could do something similar for your intended audience. And then if you'd like, I'm also going to give you an opportunity to get one of my bootcamp kits that you may be able to kind of start from start to finish and take it all the way through, from not only designing it, but building it and then selling it. And there's a 3-step process in making that happen. So whether you're just starting out or whether you already have a service and a product, but you don't have the time, because typically that's the issue. It's a time issue. Low content products are easier to create and also are easy to consume. So you want to be a creator of content, not a consumer of content anymore. And sometimes we get a little overwhelmed with, oh my God, I got to design this webinar, and you don't want it to be thrown together. Or, oh my God, I got to create this course because everybody says create course. Well, a low content product can be that entryway into something that's bigger, more expensive, more time assessed as well. So you have all those things to kind of think about. So that being said, I'm going to share with you this particular journal. And where do I have this one at? Okay, make sure I'm sharing the right screen here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Oh, into this one. Okay, so let's see, is this gonna, there we go. I think I need to change my screen over. There we go. Here we go. That's much better. All right. So here's an example. This is a digital journal. Now, you can always have these for print on demand if you'd like, depending. Some people like still very tactile and they would prefer a, um, a written way to print and write it out. So you can make it printable as a digital product as well. But this just happens to be one of my journals. This is my Dream Biz journal. So this is more for my clients who want to start their side gig or start their business and they don't know how. And then this is that reflective period for them to really put some time and some effort into some serious questions that would help them to get to the next step in this process without having one to invest a lot of time. So this typically is like $10 or $27. Sometimes I give it away for free if I'm at an event. So it just kind of depends. That's the other nice thing about a low content product is that you can produce it in short order and then you can let it kind of work its magic in the background once you put it into sell mode. So, and you can be very flexible with it because you didn't invest that much time and effort into creating it as you would have something else that, um, your time is money. So you want to be able to kind of equate those things, right? So that's what a journal will allow you to do. So let's take a look at the journal itself. So you've got a cover, right? And then I'm going to pop myself over here. So you've got your cover. And this is simply, you can do the layouts and stuff is all at your discretion. I'm just giving you an example. It could be a short journal. It could be a long journal. This happens to be 65 pages, but I've got a lot of not filler, but fill in the blanks and things like that along the way. So you could put pictures in it for your prompts. You can decide. So this happens to be my Dream Biz journal because again, this is specifically intentional for an intended purpose, right? Versus the one where I just showed you, which is the writing journal, which is just a bunch of blank pages, right? And that has its own intent, right? So for this one, I'm putting my little welcome letter and then giving people the reasons for why they have this journal. So again, you want to start the conversation with them. And then how they can use the journal. You always want to be direct, give instructions as to how to best use the journal, maybe a couple different ways. And people just don't know where to start sometimes. And so any help that you can give them, the better. And so in this particular case, I've chunked mine into sections, right? And it's because it's a thought process. And I'm guiding people through that so that once they've done the journaling, their minds, they come to me better prepared to really start conversating around the work of launching an idea and launching a business that they've given themselves the time to process. That's one of the benefits of a journal. But I want you to also keep in mind, so here is a topic, and then I am giving them prompts. Now, they can take a whole weekend and go through it if they want to, or they may choose to do it over 30 days and do 2 prompts a day. It's totally up to them how they choose to do it. I give them the guidance. Again, why do you need it? Where is its purpose? And then how do you use it? And so here in this particular case, I'm giving them prompts each day and they have a place to type it in. If it's digital, you always want to make it so that's a fillable PDF. I cover some of that in the training if you want to learn more about how when you come to producing it. But certainly so I want you just to think about, these are writing prompts, things for them to really think about, right? Given again to the pain points that they have, right? So I'm giving them these prompts for them just to simply stop, give them the time and the space to capture their ideas, to give them that kind of dedicated window of time to just focus on this idea that they're having, of thoughts that they're having about it, right? And so that's the essence of it. But guess what this is not? This is not a book, right? This is a journal and it's low content because look what the pages consist of. Blank spaces for people to fill in themselves, right? They're the consumer. You're the creator. So low content products can be very useful, can be very beautiful, and can be something that could be, again, that win-win for you and for them. So I want you to think about, from a journaling perspective, could journals be a low product solution that you can create in short order. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oh, right here. There we go. So think about journaling from the standpoint of, is that an opportunity? Now, if you say yes, it is. I feel as though that a journal could be one product that I could create simply by putting some thought into it. And then just maybe even you can do this stuff in like a weekend. You can put something together. Or if you need to, you rough it out and give it to a graphics designer and they can make it look pretty for you. No problem. No shame in the game when it comes to that either. So I always want you to be mindful. Don't feel like you have to do anything. I'm dropping this particular seed in for you because I often have conversations with clients and the struggle is about time. And the other struggle is so time is your struggle. You don't have time to write a book, but you can make time to create a low content product and rough it out. Or get a thought partner who can help you to get it created for you if that's what you need. And you have to do a little paying out on the side. But here's the other win for you. Not only is this going to save you time and money, but it's something that you can kind of almost put in automation. And what I mean by that is once you've created your product and you've designed it, you've built it, now you get a chance to build not only the finished product, but then you're able to then build a process by which people are going to come so that they can consume that product. And then you can go into sell mode with that. And that's the idea about stepping into, if you're either for the first time, this is a great way, again, low content products are a great way for you to start and launch a business simply by that. And then you can create the other things based on, again, the needs of your customers and where they start. So there's that. The other win-win is because you could put this in automation. You have an opportunity to not only create the product, then you can start promoting the product, use it as a giveaway, sell it for those who can buy it, who are interested in buying it. And you can start to gauge people and then guide people through using that product as well. There's some automations that you can do there in short order. So it's a great way for you to think about how can I bring a quick win to my intended audience without having to sacrifice a lot of time and energy on your part. Now, so you've created your product. I wanted to see if I can, I'm going to see if I can. So now that you've created that journal, then you're going to have an opportunity to promote the journal. And then you can do that through social media, inside of your Facebook accounts. You can put a little bit of money behind it if you want to with some ad spend. So there's quite a few different ways where you can start to do some lead generation. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I gotta authenticate myself. It's always wanting to give me, okay. You're booting me out. All right. So once you've created your product and you've then there's an opportunity for you to promote that product using social media or maybe even using email, and also even for lead generation through some type of a marketing initiative by way of a sales page, a landing page, right? So I wanted to just show you real quick what one could look like. My page got away from me, so give me 1 second. There we go. So here is a page that you can think about using as an example. It's going to load. Here we go. So then once you created your product, your journal as an example, and this one again was on abundance, this particular one, but it's a simple layout that you could plug in with your text and your image of your product and send people there, tell them what they're going to get, the benefits, and then what's inside for them. In this case, this one just happens to be a freebie one. But again, this is an abundance journal, not my biz journal one. But again, it's a simple landing page that you can, again, generate and create in short order. So the idea of a journal for your audience may not be something that you naturally would have thought about, but I want you to give it some thought, because I think there's always an opportunity that you might be missing out on simply because you didn't stop enough to pause and say, you know what? Never thought of that. And so now here's that opportunity that you can say, you know, is there a way for me to create some type of a journal, digital journal product, or even for print, depends on what you're looking to do, that could be of benefit for my customers? So what could that look like for them? So give it some thought. See how journaling could be a win-win. A win for you, creating it, and a win for your customers, and that you can start a relationship with that. And again, take them through the sales journey. So those are some of the things that I thought you would be interested in knowing in regard, again, to from a content marketing strategy. It's certainly an easy way to step into that space of the ecosystem. So remember, when we think about the content marketing ecosystem, we're talking about creative visuals, right? That you then can take inside of the other pieces and parts. Once you've created that product, you can email it, you can put it up on your website for sale, you can share it on social media, you can even blog about it and then offer it as an offer on a blog post too, if it's related to a subject matter. And if you go on a podcast to be a guest, we now have a giveaway product to give to the listening audience. So again, content marketing ecosystem at its finest is another opportunity that you have. So think about it in those terms as well. So this is Dr. Yam. I am your Keep It Simple coach. And until next time, let's get busy. Take care. Bye-bye.